From the UK
to the USA,
you're rocking with the EC Twins.
How you doing, guys? Welcome to the EC Twins podcast.
Episode 5. Apparently people give up at 7 episodes, Mark. They just kick it in the teeth.
Yeah, that's the average.
If they're not Joe Rogan by episode 7, they give up.
Yeah, we're not going to do it that way. We're doing it differently. We're
just going to try and build it naturally. We're not really promoting it or anything like that, this podcast.
I think we will. We'll probably give it a push when we get the tour dates back on and everything like that.
Well, I always say, I don't know when you're listening to this. You can listen to this on YouTube or any of the podcast platforms. You can watch us on YouTube or listen to it on any podcast platforms. But we started recording them during coronavirus lockdown. We're still in coronavirus lockdown, though there's talk of them opening things back up.
Yeah, I saw them say today that they're thinking of opening up LA County, which is where we are, by the 4th of July. And so the first...
So wait a minute. That Boston gig that we've got, when was that? That's done.
That was June the 22nd.
Fuck.
Yeah, I've not seen that promoted. That was a big gig. They'd still be promoting that one if that one was going ahead. I've still not asked our manager. I can't bring myself to ask. But yeah, the first article I said was really positive. It was like LA expected to be open by the 4th of July. And then the next article was like, LA closed until at least July the 4th. And I thought...
Which is saying the same thing, just differently.
Yeah, it's just the press, like, all right, we can't report good news because people
turn
don't
off
read
the
that.
news. Turn it off.
Yeah. But if you can do us a favour, if you are watching this, if you could hit subscribe, like Alistair said, you can see it on YouTube, but you can also get it on all your podcast outlets, whether that's Apple or whatever you use to
It's just a way of us guys to hang out with you at the moment. We aren't getting to tour at the moment. There's absolutely no income for us. We're not crying about it. There's no income for us, so we may as well hang out with you. So
not publicly crying, but maybe in private, a few tears have been shed, especially now the car dealerships
have the car dealerships opened.
Yeah.
Man, and the convertible on one of the cars out there, I put the roof up, and the fucking piece flew off. So I'm gonna have to pay for that. You've lost a sec.
Yeah, and I curbed a wheel the other day
shit.
just before you take it back. Whatever. But
I'll be the guy going about in the tan Buick LeSabre from 1986. That'll be me
with the trash bag in the window, like.
Yeah,
because they say what are they? Is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4? Where is DJing in amongst that? And
I think it's a situation with crowds, isn't it, Mark? We have crowds. I mean, what's the point going back to work and DJing to 40 people?
No. They say that we're going to open it up on 25%. Well, and I hear a lot of people, like we watch a lot of comedians, and a lot of comedians are like, yeah, I'll go out and I'll perform to 40 people. I mean, maybe comedy works like that, but certainly...
Well, where would they generate the money from? 40 people, $10 a ticket,
I think
$400? What, I'm going to go to work for $400?
Right.
Not that I'm being snobby, I understand what $400 is, but... I worked my ass off for this career. I'm not going to go back with a begging ball like, can we get $200 each?
Well, I think comedians don't understand. Those who just focus on what they do, they're the type of gigging guys who just go out, they get the booking from the club and they get paid regardless of whether there's 10 people in there.
No, they get door money, those guys.
Oh, do they? Well, maybe they're willing to go out and do that, but I'm certainly not.
Anyway.
My mouth's not watering at the thought of a 25% full club. I don't see how that is anything other than...
Doesn't generate enough money for the venue, does it, to pay the staff, to pay us?
Take the money out of the equation, it's not a good time.
No.
How is a 1 quarter busy club a good time for anybody? That's the opposite.
Well, no, it can be a good time.
Well, that's true.
I've played some 1 quarter busy clubs right at the start of my career.
Where?
I had a good time.
I don't ever remember playing a club.
No, we never like playing 1 quarter busy clubs. What am I talking about?
I've been out to clubs and they're quite quiet, and I'm like, I had a pretty good time, but that's... that's because I've been to so many packed parties that when you go out and you can move around and you can have a conversation, yeah, it's enjoyable. But, I mean, is that what restaurants want to do? Open up to 25% capacity with a glass shield between you and the person next to you? I don't know.
Anyway,
to have 25% of the money, I don't know how it works. But whatever, that's what we're getting so far.
But on this week's podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to give Me, an antibody test. Our friend Roman, thank you very much, Roman. He's a club promoter. My brother bumped into him and he gave him an antibody
Whilst
test.
we were talking about the forms of financial recourse that we have left, by the way, neither of us had an idea other than arguing over that street corner for prostitution or begging for change. I did mention that Alistair last year had open heart surgery, so we consider him to be in a high risk category. And but
Chicks
also,
dig scars, Mark, apparently. Chicks dig
I
scars. So
don't
there
know.
you go, chicks, you dig that? No,
Yeah,
chicks dig scars like action scars, like I came off my Harley. You know, I got into a bar fight. They don't dig, oh yeah, I was born with heart disease.
there's a lot of gussets that are soaking wet right
Genetics.
now.
I'm genetically weak. is that turning you on, is it, girls? Does that
But-
scar turn you on?
But a genetic
They
predisposition.
opened me
for
up like that
early
scene
death.
from Aliens.
Yeah, and then you were sick at the beginning of the year. We'd done a gig in San Diego.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, I got sick and with the flu. And obviously, you know, for me, having had that open heart surgery and stuff, it's like every time I get sick, it's like, is this guy going to make it?
But to be fair, that gig, it was. We were so nervous about that one. We decided to do it because the guys who book us down at American Junkie, they're good friends of ours. But it was on January the 6th. It was like,
Which was like a Tuesday night. It was raining, and anybody who knows Southern California knows Southern Californians do not go out in the rain.
And
It's not.
well, anybody who knows anything about the club calendar knows that after like the 1st and 2nd of January, you just stay out of it
Yeah,
for
you
a
just
couple of weeks.
block out kind of the rest of the month. There's no point going out doing hell gigs in dead nightclubs. You make yourself look like an idiot in front of the crowd, the club. You don't generate enough money for the club, so they blame you.
Organically, there's going to be one.
People are spent up after Christmas and partying at New Year. You don't go out back on the road the week after New Year's Eve.
And this was just the
It was like 5 days
combination of every element that was set to go against us. It was a Tuesday, so it wasn't even a weekend. It was raining. It was freezing cold.
Everybody was back at work. It was Southern California where it was raining.
We drove down to the gig. We were nervous.
We have terrible stage fright. Nobody can probably tell that watching us on stage, but we have terrible stage fright. The day of a show, we just have this low hum of anxiety that just kind of builds incrementally until, you know, I'm getting grey hairs before walking onto the turntables.
Yeah. And we drove down then, it was raining, and we're just like, God, we are going to eat our asses tonight. This is going to suck so bad. We just have to resign ourselves to the fact that this is going to suck for the next couple of hours, and then it'll be over. I wasn't doing a good job. That wasn't helping console me.
I wasn't. That's what we're telling each other, but really, I was really stressed. I was really nervous. And then we drove.
By the time we got down there, it was about an hour early. We
sat away from the club.
Yeah,
we didn't even go to the club. We parked miles away and just sat.
Because we drove around the streets, which were just full of water, and there was zero people, and it was like there'd been a nuclear holocaust. There was zero people on the streets.
I remember we sat away and ate some candy, didn't we?
Yeah, we ate some
candy,
Christmas candy or something.
Christmas candy. It was really
good. It was good. That was what I thought the highlight of the night would be. And then we said,
eventually we went, okay, let's just go to the club. Let's pull this Band-Aid off. Let's get this over and done with. And we went there and we saw just this. The streets were dead.
Nothing for blocks, and then we went
get to the club, the venue, and there's like this crowd outside. We're like, is that for us? And then we get there and we go, maybe it's people outside smoking. Yeah. And we go to the venue.
Big long line.
And a long line. We walk down the line, you know, like again, Wayne's World with the backstage pass. Thank you very much. And we walk in there and kind of everybody seen us and kind of cheered.
And then when we went on, the crowd erupted, and we
went on. By the way, when we go on, you'll always hear us say, "We are the EC Twins." We'll say, "Los Angeles, we are the EC Twins," or "New York, we are the EC Twins." The reason for that is we're trying to read the room. If we say Los Angeles, we are the EC Twins, and the room cheers, we know we've got some goodwill in the room. We've got some supporters in the room. We can push them a bit musically. If we say Cincinnati, we are the EC Twins, and you know. Crickets, we know that they don't care, so we're going to have to earn their trust, and we're going to have to do that with music. We can't push them, they don't know about us, they don't care about us. So that's why when we perform, you'll always hear us say, whatever city we're in, we are the EC Twins. And we said San Diego, we are the EC Twins, and the place erupted. The DJ before us was playing hip-hop, open format, that kind of pop
and he
music.
wasn't doing a bad
job. He was doing a good job, and the crowd were getting it. So we thought, shit, are they even going to get into house music? You know what I mean? Are they going to? But no, we pushed them. They went hard. Now, before going onto the turntables, I was shaking hands, licking buttholes, sucking dicks of all the fans, you know, just making out with all of them, tongue kissing. No, I was having pictures taken, shaking hands, hanging out with the fans before the show. And then when I went on, I'm partying and I didn't have anything to wash my hands with. So I stuck my fingers in my mouth because I whistle sometimes to amp the crowd up. I'm whistling, I'm thinking, God, how many, you know, I've probably touched a lot
dirty
of
penises have you proverbially sucked tonight.
Exactly, and I'm sticking my
From the
fingers in my
guy who
mouth,
went in there and did the quickie rinse.
pouring with sweat. They don't rinse, pouring with sweat. You know, guys are gross. They don't wash their hands. I've been in guys' bathrooms.
That's why I think guys have more COVID than women.
Yeah. They're just gross.
Yeah.
So the gig was great. We poured with sweat, and then we left the club after soaked in sweat, and there was a lot
out into a freezing cold street. Mm-hmm. And there was a bunch of mates out there. We hung out with them and a bunch
of friends, some old friends from San Diego, and a bunch of fans, and we hung out with them for like an hour on the street.
Yeah.
And I was like, "We're freezing now, guys. We gotta go."
Yeah, and then drove back and stopped halfway for a sandwich in the middle of the night. Didn't end up getting
these really affordable banh mi sandwiches, which is
the best sandwich I've ever had.
A Vietnamese sandwich.
Yeah.
The French may have gone to Vietnam and kind of
raped and pillaged, but left them with baguettes.
Yeah, they left them with baguettes. They left them with good bread. Yeah, the French may have gone to Vietnam and colonized them and raped all the women and murdered all the men or whatever.
And when they were looking for some sort of remuneration, they said, "There's a baguette."
Yeah, they said, "Here, we'll leave you with this bread." So Vietnamese sandwiches are quite tasty. And
that place, to be fair, it's not the kind of place where you...
No, you don't
we've finished gigs and like had a few groupies around and
they followed us.
And we end up in a banh mi store that's like 2 for $5.
2 foot long sandwiches for $5, and there's a cockroach on the floor.
There was literally a cockroach on the
Dead
floor.
on the
Still
floor.
my best place. Still my best.
I remember
place
when you said you went to the bathroom and you said, "Can you give me the code for the bathroom?" And they gave you the code, and you went in the bathroom and you came out and said to the lady, "Do you want to give that code to the cleaner?"
This year, sometime. I think there's somebody been killed in there.
I'm assuming he's locked out of the time.
It's brutal, but it's still my favourite sandwich.
Yeah, so we ate some sandwiches, and by that stage,
you get absolutely zero customer service. Like, what you want?
Yeah.
And you've got to get it in, or the guy behind you's coming in.
Yeah.
But I love that sandwich. And then we came home.
I was really tired, and I had to drop you off and then drive up here.
Yeah.
I dropped you off at your place and drove up here. I was really tired.
And then the next day we went on a bike ride. It was freezing cold.
We went out on a bike ride. We started okay. It was nice and warm, and then this fog came in and the temperature dropped like 15 degrees. Yeah. I got a phone call.
I was coming down the hill like...
Yeah, I got a phone call from somebody saying, one of my neighbours saying, "Hey, Alistair, your house is flooding. Get home quick." So I'm heading down the hill. I'm frozen.
We ran into a friend and talked to him for half an hour in the cold, made us worse.
So yeah, by the time I got home and the house was flooded, I cut the water off. I was freezing and I thought, I don't feel so good. That was a few days without sleep, working out, you know, hanging out with friends. And next day I was really sick. I got a banging headache. And then I couldn't even sleep. The headache was so bad. Then I got a sore throat. Then I couldn't move a muscle. I couldn't even bend over to get a drink going, you know, to take a piss. Took every single piece of energy I had. And I thought, I've got a case of... I thought it was just a bad flu. I had a cough for about 2 months. And the only thing is the cough was productive. I was coughing stuff up. So that's the only thing I will say that made me, you know,
the question we were asking is, was that coronavirus?
Exactly.
And the question a lot of people were asking, because at that time, so many people, because I would have been concerned you were so sick. And
I was so sick, and I was on the edge of going, because for us, you know, I was having those night sweats. For me, it's like, oh God, something's going wrong with my heart again. I'm going back to the hospital. And I was on the line of going, I'm going to have to go back to the hospital here. But
I was like, no, you can calm down, because everybody on my timeline is being obliterated by this for a long period of time, and nobody knows what it is. So much so that when we were doing gigs, following on from that, I'm like, is this going to hurt our numbers really badly? Because so many people were sick. And so we were all asking ourselves, was that coronavirus?
Or was it just a bad flu? It was flu
season.
So
Roman gave us an antibody test, so we're going to do it with Alistair now.
We don't know how... this is something I've got to stab my finger with. We don't know how trustworthy these things are, but Roman did one and his came back positive for antibodies.
And he was also sick in January.
So yeah, prick my finger with this, Mark. Wait a minute, let me... You need some.
We'll zoom through this bit.
I don't want you to scare you with the blood, guys. That was quite painful, actually. I've had my finger pricked a lot of times.
So then what we do is...
I need to get rid of the first drop of blood.
He shakes off the first droplets, and then we take this thing.
Have we got one of those alcohol
We shook out the
things?
blood, drop it onto the test kit, and then...
Take some blood.
Take some blood. Then we get a test kit, and from this, we squeeze 3 of these drops. And we leave it for 15 minutes.
15 minutes will know if I have the antibodies or not.
And that might answer the question whether or not you had coronavirus. I'm really hoping it comes back positive.
Oh, God, I know it sounds stupid. I see so many people getting tested and saying it came back negative. I don't have coronavirus. I'm like, I want to have had it. I want to have had it. I want my body because...
Was it Tanzania? Tanzania, the president, prime minister, the leader of Tanzania anyway. When they wanted to test Tanzania, we were so skeptical that coronavirus even existed, and they were testing people for coronavirus, not for the antibodies, that he sent in the test results for a...
He sent in blood work.
He tested everything.
Yeah.
He tested everything. And one of the things he tested that came back positive was a goat.
A goat.
Another thing that he sent in that came back positive was a papaya.
A fucking fruit. It's a papaya.
I mean, the brilliant thing about that...
I know a lot of people out there don't eat fruit anymore, so a papaya is a fruit.
Okay.
Just to make that clear, sorry. A papaya tested positive for COVID.
So
what's going on?
This guy was so skeptical that it even exists at all. Basically, he sat in the pub with his mates going,
They trolled them.
Test the papaya, send them that. And the papaya came back positive, so...
They basically trolled them with, they tested the papaya. So
What's going on? I mean...
I have no idea.
There's already a vaccine, isn't there? This is just... They're just wearing us down to manufacture consent for this vaccine that's already out there, so Bill Gates can make another... $200 billion.
I've no idea what's going on again. We discussed it last week, but all these people arguing and shouting at each other.
Yeah, it's hard to get.
We don't know what's going on. We went out. We go out on our bicycles because something that's important, guys, is vitamin D. Apparently, over 80% of people who are really suffering from this COVID virus are coming back with low levels and vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D isn't just a vitamin, by the way; it's a hormone that does things in the body.
It boosts your metabolism. It
does things. It boosts your metabolism.
What an idiot! Sorry. Immunity.
It boosts your immunity, vitamin D. It's a hormone.
Sorry, I've been losing weight, and that's all I can think of is my metabolism.
Yeah, we're going to do a podcast about our weight gain and weight loss, but we haven't lost enough yet. And the last 5 pounds, I can't lose it. God damn it! Every morning I'm waking up, standing on the scales. I'm thinking about shaving. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I've got pubes. I'm thinking about shaving them off. I haven't
had a haircut for a while. I'm looking quite Joe Exotic.
I know pubes aren't cool in 2020.
Is that right? Do guys shave the pubes?
I don't know. I think you don't see a lot of this anymore, do you? You don't see a lot of this anymore. You don't where they're trying to fish the pube out their mouth. You don't get. I think we're supposed to manscape, so I do keep it trim, but I don't shave it. Girls, seriously,
you're a better man than me.
Yeah,
women just deserve better than what I'm.
He's like going down on a tumbleweed.
I shower a lot. My hygiene is spot on, but yeah, it's a bush down there, man. It's like a 1970s porn star. You have to.
I don't know. Maybe the girls can let us know.
Blow through it to find my
that little knob.
Yeah,
knob for a penis.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do girls want us shaved bald? Isn't that a bit weird? A shaved bald dick.
Look like a dead chicken. I don't know. Maybe. It's fashion, isn't it? I should at least keep it neat. But yeah, vitamin D is something, and you get that from sun. So
vitamin D. I give the bitch vitamin D. I'm joking. I'm joking. Fucking hell.
But yeah, vitamin D, that's important. So we went out on our bikes. It's remarkable how many people have decided to become fitness enthusiasts
we went. Apparently, everybody got their stimulus check and bought a bicycle or rollerblades and decided, to get themselves in shape. And we've been going out,
which is a good thing. But I'm so sort of, I get so cynical about everything and so
Because we've been going out, and
you know what it is? It's the sheep mentality. If you want to ride a bike, that's brilliant. But if you're just doing what everybody else is doing,
it's a good thing, though, Matt, that they're working out. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
Yeah, well, that's that bike path. I've been going on it for years and years with you, and there's never normally a single person there. All of a sudden, when we're supposed to be quarantining,
it's like a fucking Mardi Gras down there. People coughing on me. That
doing the conga.
That ass wipe who came by us, and we're riding on the LA River, two lanes. And we're in one lane side by side, and this guy screams from the back.
By the way, it's not a road. It's a bike path.
So one side this way, one side, oncoming one side. Two different ways of traffic, and we're on one side together, side by side. Some idiot shouts from the back, thinks he's Lance Armstrong, thinks he's going for some world record. He screams, "On the left!" So I look over my shoulder and I nod at him and I move over. I move over to my right to let him by. And he screams again, "On my left." So I move over till my tyres.
Which point I looked to see if you hadn't moved and you was almost in the dirt.
I was in the dirt. I was off the road.
We already have a little bit of a problem
I've got
with
an
authority.
attitude problem with what I see as a bully.
Like I'm at Trader Joe's the other day, and the guy the staff are always nice at Trader Joe's, but the guy's like, "Can you stand in that square there, please, sir?" And already I stood in that square.
I don't have a problem with authority.
I don't like being told what to do, even though I know he's right. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah. So this guy comes by me, and I moved over, and if he'd just gone by me, I would have, let my temper. But no, he comes by us and he goes, "Single fucking file,"
and I said, "Fuck off."
Yeah, and he's a big tall guy. He looks like Debo from the movie Friday.
Oh, shit. Here come Debo. Give me your stuff.
Come storming
over.
He was
a lot more than 6'3", because we're 6'2",
and
he had a bit on me.
He had a few inches on us.
And he stopped, and I was like, good, I'm glad you're stopping. I'll be right there now.
So we sprinted towards him, and we're like, right, fuck you. And they're the rules. Whose rules? They're not, first of all, they're not the rules. Yeah, you're allowed to ride side by side, but if there's people coming by, you've got to move out of the way, which we did.
Don't be a dick.
The thing is, we saw him as a bully. It was a bully.
I read a book recently.
Throw his weight around, and we told him to fuck off and mind his own business, of which he
said, "Hey, I'm telling you the rules." I said, "Where are the fucking rules? Where are the rules? Who made you the boss? Just mind your own fucking business.
Fuck off. Get riding, mind your business."
And he did ride off.
He made the right decision. He got back on his bike and he fucked off.
Yeah.
See, the thing is with me and him, we just don't like bullies. I'm not good at fighting. I hate violence, but not as much as I hate bullies. Who the fuck made you the authority to come and scream at me? I'm doing this. I moved out his way. I was considerate. I nodded at him, the kind of, "All right, mate, on you go." And he decided to come by and get by the side of me and mouth off.
I was reading.
Let me just loosen all those teeth for you.
I was reading a book on biology. Now, I am not genealogy and biology. I am far from a scientific genius. I'm actually, in fact, listening to the audio book. And it said that there are genes. It's called the selfish gene, and that there are genes, some of which are bullies, some of which are passive, and some of which are called retaliators. And the bully gene, it's a gene. It's not a gene in the sense that this dictates your behavior. It's how the gene itself behaves. And basically, if it attacks and the opposite gene retreats, it will continue to attack it. If it attacks and the opposite gene retaliates, it will run away. So, and that's weird how bullies work that way.
Yeah, I don't like bullying. I don't like bullying people
because that guy. That guy didn't exactly look like he couldn't fight.
No, I don't like him just if I don't. No, he didn't look like he couldn't fight, and I'm not very good at fighting. I've got like a.
No, but he didn't. He still didn't fancy his chances.
He still did. I would have bit his nose off and risked the COVID. And fuck you. I don't like bullying people for race, religion, sex, sexuality. I don't like bullying in general. And
the injustice sits wrong, doesn't it? I can't
and what got me is I backed down to him and I was polite, and he didn't back down.
No, I just said.
But I'd already looked at him.
Look, he said on your left, and you moved on to your left. That would have been okay. And then he went on your left already. I'm like, dude, shut up.
We heard you the first fucking time.
But okay, fair enough. You're a self-righteous prick. We'll pull over. And then when he got by, and he should, and don't fucking. What? Who the fuck do you think you're talking
he
to?
mistook
I'm sorry. Did you think this spandex meant that I don't like fighting? Actually, I don't like fighting,
but won't fight. That's it. He mistook us moving over as kind of us passively backing down to fuck you.
He'd probably been up and down that bike path,
screaming
shouting
at
everybody that day. So
throwing his weight around. I'm a 6'3" dude. Well, I don't give a
Here
shit.
again, he was bigger than 6'3", because when he stopped, I thought, oh.
Yeah, he's about the
fucking
width of two of us as
Gonna
well.
have
It was
to
all
fit-
muscle.
gonna have to
Solid
feed him
muscle.
this bicycle.
I'm like, I'm going to bite this guy, poke his fucking
hell. This
ocular
isn't gonna,
cavities.
I'm not going to fight fair on this
No,
one.
don't get it. Looking for a weapon.
Yeah.
Either I end up hurt, or either I'm ending up hurt or in jail. That's the way this goes.
Sort
now.
of talking right this way, mate, and taking him to the road so you can just give him a nudge and let a truck do the dirty
Yeah,
work
let a
for you.
passing truck do the fucking hard work for you. Yeah. What mate? Ugh, get in the road, you dick. And
Anyway,
then you end
everybody
up in
was
jail.
everybody was down there, and that was the first time we've sort of been out in public, really, isn't it? The sort of the first time we've
Yeah,
left
and
the
we went
house.
down there, and I was like, "Damn, Mark! I think we've gone from actually not seeing anybody to being surrounded by people on rollerblades and bikes." And I said, "We've got to get off here and just ride back
And
streets."
in our defence, we're not the guys who, the second they opened the beach, we went down to the beach. We
No.
weren't on the beach. We were on the road behind it, expecting that it would be quiet, and actually would be quite a flat and quiet ride for us around there.
I guess
but-
they opened the beaches and everybody went, "Okay, we're good to go." That said, I'm not going to be the type of guy who's going to sit in and hide and not live my life. I feel like just time. Your time's finite, man. It's like
Yeah, you only get so many summers
This
in
isn't
life.
a dress rehearsal. You know what I mean? Life isn't a dress rehearsal. I'm not particularly a religious man, so this could be a one-shot deal. I'm not going to sit locked in my house. But that said, I'm not going to go storming around without a mask on. I wear a mask out of respect for other people.
That's become the argument now, and I get it.
I get it from both sides. Yeah,
I get it, man. I get it. We don't want to cover our faces up, break down our connection, whatever
It's just about freedom, Mark. It's about freedoms. It's about being told you can't do it. Some people just don't like being told off.
And my go-to gear, because with regards to the face mask, the amount of times I will wear the mask out of respect for the people who are afraid. I will wear a mask out of respect for other people. I will wear a mask out of respect for the fact that people, when we were in the studio the other day, we went into the recording studio, we made a track, we work all night in that studio, and we went to 7-Eleven just to get a drink, and I'd forgotten my mask, and I went in, and there was maybe 10 people in there. I was the only one without a mask, and I felt
You
like
came
an
out
asshole.
and you said, "Am I really that much of a dick that I'm in a store with 10 people and I'm the only dick without a mask on?"
Yeah,
Like, what is wrong with me?
it's not that I'm afraid of getting the virus or that I have the virus and I'm going to pass it. And it's the fact that all those other people, they must be looking at me like, well, I wore the mask.
what
what
makes
makes you
you
think you're so much better than me?
Yeah.
Big
What makes-
shot.
yeah.
Are you the brave guy who didn't wear a mask, who's proving a point today? And that wasn't what I was doing at all.
No, I
Actually,
think,
I was
but
embarrassed.
so I wear a mask out of respect for everybody else because I know people are scared, and I understand that, and it's possibly valid. So I think it's valid. So I'll wear my mask out of respect for them. But I understand the people who are like, who the fuck is Gavin? These mayors and these governors are now getting these rules to tell us they can tell us to wear masks. Goddamn Cuomo in New York, whose people all died because he mishandled the situation. The most interesting thing about him is the potential that he has nipple rings.
That makes me like him.
If he has nipple rings, because that rumour that he has nipple rings, I hope he has nipple rings because that'll make me think that at least he's slightly interesting. But these people
badass.
come along, who are they to tell us what to do? Fuck you.
Well, if they've got the information, I don't know. There's an argument from every side, isn't there?
Yeah.
But I mean, the bottom line is,
Yeah, but
the bottom line is just chip me, Bill Gates.
yeah, no, the only chip Bill Gates is putting in my body is one with queso and salsa on it. Otherwise, he can fuck off. No, but yeah, out of respect, I'll wear it. But I understand both sides. I understand those who do want to wear it. But my thing, again, I've said it before, I edge on the side of caution and better safe than sorry. Because, every time I write something on social media, people bite my head off. One guy, he actually wrote this to me. All I said to him is, he said there's a spike because people went to the beach yesterday. I said, so you're telling me people went to the beach yesterday, became symptomatic within a matter of hours, went to the hospital and tested positive.
And
That's
died.
not how it works. And he went crazy. Yes, it can, the symptoms can, he said, do I need to explain it to you? Yes,
Yeah.
They went to the beach, they got sick, they went to the hospital and tested positive. No, that's not how it works. The incubation period is 2.5 to 14 days, the incubation period of this.
Yeah.
I explained it to him and he went, you know what? I fucking hope you get it. And I'm like,
Cancer. I hope you get cancer.
I'm like, right, man, I'm sorry, I'm going to block you,
Friend.
I don't want to argue with you. But
The best way to start an argument,
I'm gonna block
if many of my Facebook...
so you just wished COVID on me because you couldn't because you couldn't, because I proved you wrong. Because I proved you wrong. All I'm saying
if my friends on Facebook are anything to go by, it turns out the best way to start an argument, regardless of whether you believe it's all a hoax or regardless of whether you believe it's deadly serious and it's going to kill us all, the best way to start an argument is, listen up, arseholes.
Wake up.
Wake up.
You get the conspiracy theories who are like, wake up, which, you know, I get. Yeah. And then you get the...
We are not adverse to conspiracy theory.
No, I'll listen to conspiracy theories, and I'll also listen to...
Because a lot of conspiracy theories,
I'll listen
in fact,
to anybody who gives
true.
me information, but I will always go back to the numbers. I can't have a guy telling me there's a spike because people went to the beach yesterday. That's not how it works. If there's a spike next week and the week after, that's because people went to the beach on Sunday.
Right.
They're not the spike today because people went to the beach yesterday. That's not how this virus works. And he said, show me a study. Which I did. He said, show me a study, which I showed him.
Turn the news off, mate.
And then he said, I hope, you know what, I hope you get it. And then he went, I hope you survive, but I hope you get it. Fuck. He can't even...
Oh, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Fuck you, blocked. I need to talk to you. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Well, what are you doing talking to these clowns anyway?
I was trying to have a logical conversation and just tell him the facts. Listen, man, that's not how it works.
You always end up being the asshole. You always end up being the asshole. Look.
You always end up being the asshole, yes.
Whenever you go the extra distance, I can tell you stories of times when we've been into the middle of nowhere. We've been to like Ottawa in Canada or Modesto. And some guy said, hey man, can you have a photograph with us? So, okay, yeah, no problem. I mean, most of you guys watching this will know us. We'll always have the photos. We'll always do
like
the
hanging out with people.
And then he's like...
We are, by the way, quite reclusive in general. But at shows, we will talk to everybody. That's when we get out. That's when we socialise. That's why we're doing this
So
now.
we'll hang out and then he's like, you know... Yeah, so you sort of have your photograph taken, and then he's like, right, well, let me call one of my boys. Calls one of his boys.
He's like, oh, yo, you'll never believe who I'm with. He's like, who? He's like, the EC Twins. Who? The EC Twins. Who are they? The DJs, the EC Twins. I don't know them.
Yeah, you have to sit there while he explains to his friend, yeah, you do. They did that song, and
we saw them, bro, in Vegas. We saw them at Coachella.
Next thing you know, he follows you back to the hotel, and you buy him a sandwich, and you end up sitting with him.
No, you go to a diner, and you end up sitting in the diner, and then he says he'll give you a ride back to the hotel. You're like, no, we got a driver, no, but he'll give you a ride. He puts on his techno CD on the way home.
And then you're like, all right, man, well, I'm going to go to bed. No, dude, there's an after party. Nah, man, it's cool. I got an early flight in the morning. I'm going to go to bed. Well, fuck you, arsehole.
Who the fuck do you think you are? Just gave the guy like 2 hours of your time. You're like, and you're the arsehole.
You always end up being the arsehole.
So there's no point discussing it. And some people like this person online, he wouldn't have a logical conversation with me. I'd imagine after everybody going to the beach, there will be a spike. I'm just saying it doesn't happen in a day. You know what I mean? I'm not telling anybody anything. I just want facts, numbers. I don't want opinions. I want facts and numbers. So that's the only thing that's going to tell us.
Back to this. This has been way more than 15 minutes now.
Well, there's one line on it, and I don't know what they're supposed to be.
Well, there would be 2 or 3 lines if you had it, so I'm afraid the news is that you didn't have it, Alistair.
Oh, shit. I really wanted it.
Is there a faint line? Uh-oh.
There's a faint line. I mean, if this was a pregnancy test, I'd still be a bit concerned.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like I have the antibodies, which I'm not going to lie. I'm I'm gutted.
Well, I'm gutted for you, Alistair, but I'm also gutted for everybody at home who was sick in January, knowing that may not have been it. But who knows how? Send them to Tanzania. Who knows how good those tests are?
Damn it. That's gonna spoil my night. Keep myself up for this podcast.
Kind of ruined the podcast, that. And it would have been very good if we could have just
said I'm immune to everything
and broke the news to a lot of other people.
I don't know what's going on, guys. Here's the word that everybody says, the one word to describe this whole situation: weird. It's weird. The whole thing is weird. It's weird.
Yeah, because I mean, you split between opinions. You watch your conspiracy theorist and you think, yes, that is what's going on. And then you read a story about some healthy young guy who got sick. How could I have listened to the conspiracy theorist? What was I thinking?
Yeah.
When I was so young 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, you know some people who've been sick and well, you know,
Well,
I don't personally know anybody.
That's
but
the only thing that gets me. I don't know. Realistically, I don't know anybody, and you don't know anybody realistically who's.
I mean, I
sort
know of
that-
them in the industry and stuff, and definitely people have been sick. And but
Yeah, we all know
fortunately-
Idris Elba walked through it, and Tom
No,
Hanks walked through it.
not Idris Elba. I know people who've been sick, like that Lucian from.
Yeah,
I know a few people who've been sick, and Michael Yeoh, you know, got really sick and stuff. But I don't know anybody who's dead, thank Christ. And I think that's something we should celebrate, because I thought there would be body bags and, you know, people all around me dropping dead. Like, okay, I'm going to lose 50% of my friends. Some of my, you know, that's
yeah,
what's
but
gonna
that's
happen.
the thing. You're not allowed to celebrate, and because the people.
I thought I was a gunner for sure. I'm like, I'm a gunner. You know what I mean? You guys wrap me up in bubble wrap. Everybody just forced me to go and like, I live on the top of the Hollywood Hills and basically you know, like the old man on the hill. I live in a house on my own, and baby, I got locked in there by everybody who cared about me for like 3 weeks. You all locked me in there. I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was like Howard fucking Hughes growing my goddamn fingernails out and
Yeah.
sanitizing myself from head to toe.
But then you hear like, so the people who are obsessed, even though the numbers are extremely low comparison to what they were supposed to be, they don't like to see the good news. But even those guys, even some of the conspiracy theories guys, who I don't mind hearing from, are annoying me now, because like. So I have this one conspiracy theory guy on my page, and I'll listen to him, but it's when they come out with an argument like this. Hey, arseholes, we're all going to get it, just accept that. Why are we all hiding in our homes for a virus that's only going to kill 1% of us? Do you understand how many people 1% is?
Like our last show had, I think our last show had 1,000 people. Let's talk the San Diego show, like 1,000 people there, right? That means 10 people in that room die. That's like 10 people walking out and getting hit by a car. That's a lot of people that I don't want to see die, right? 1%. However, he's wrong. That's not the numbers. The numbers is 0.01.
Something like that, yeah.
So I don't even know, is that one person? It's still too many, right?
When we find out how many of us and goats and papayas have had it.
Yeah, I don't know. So, like I say, the whole thing's very, very weird. And I'm open to information, but again, stop calling me an idiot every time. Stop shouting.
On both sides. But
Because you know why? Because I will shout back. I do shout back. That's the thing. Sometimes I will buy, and then I'm like, I'll wake up in the morning and I've just like I've got inbox messages. I've got inbox messages from some people telling me that Trump's going to overturn this is all to do with Trump overturning a Hollywood cabal of paedophiles.
Right.
That's not happening, guys. I don't know
what's your argument going to be? Yay, Biden.
I don't know what to tell you guys.
At this point, basically, you're running.
I'm out of politics. I don't care.
At this point, one guy's a bonehead and the other guy's essentially about as useful as an out of office email.
Two senile old men going at it. May the best man win. I'm out. I don't give a shit.
It'll be hilarious, though. It will be hilarious.
Like a charity boxing match.
Yeah, I will watch it for. I think the best thing that we can hope for in politics, my ideal dream is that in the end, Biden wins whilst wearing a Make America Great Again baseball cap and nobody's even watching. That's the kind of level I want to get to with politics. Like, who cares?
It doesn't make a difference. They all work for the same guy.
They all work for the same guy.
Sorry, that's true. They're basically a face of a corporation.
Yeah, and they both work.
They should be like NASCAR's stickers of who sponsored them.
It's like WCW. You've got the heel and the hero, but ultimately they both just play a character to make you root for one or the other, and all the money goes to WCW, and that's basically...
It's WWE now, is it called? WWE?
WWE, sorry, it is, yeah.
Wrestling, professional wrestling.
Professional wrestling, that's
like
all it is.
Professional wrestlers.
You may as well go there and cheer for professional wrestlers who are incredible
and people will tell
athletes.
People will tell
but
us
not
we're wrong.
Real results.
We understand. I totally get it. Whoever you vote for, go for it. I get it. You can all scream and shout at me. I don't vote for... It's stupid to me. I was a Bernie Sanders guy though, so what can I say? Yeah. You can all
but
tell
we can't vote. We can't vote.
As I just lose followers, but I was a Bernie Sanders guy.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean... But we're not going to tell you to... We would have never once said vote for him.
No.
You know, that's...
I liked him. He seemed like a cool guy.
It's like, you want to give people stuff and you want to help people who are suffering.
I can in the 60s getting arrested for civil rights.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. I can get on board with that. But
he walked the walk and he talked and he walked the walk.
I think he needs a word with one of those Russian revolutionaries about how real revolutions happen.
Yeah. Take power.
If you do not give me power, we will take power.
If you do not vote for him, he will take power.
You can't be a revolutionary with manners. I'm sorry.
I could get into it. I've got some funny anecdotes, but I won't go too much politically because we just end up upsetting everybody.
Do I really have to vote for somebody who's hostile
To me,
towards
it's like walking into a bathroom with 2 cubicles. Both of them are so dirty, I'd rather just shit my pants. That's how I feel about it.
That's a good one. That's
Anyway.
a good one. On that positive note, and add to the fact that it turns out many of us who thought we had coronavirus probably didn't have coronavirus.
Who knows?
Who knows if that's even trustworthy? We'll wrap this up, but we'll probably remind you all to subscribe and like.
Yeah, you can hear this podcast on any podcast platforms, Apple, Amazon, or you can watch us on YouTube. Follow us. Feel free to message us on any social media. You can tell us what you want. You can tell us how wrong we are. We don't care.
But yeah,
We're open.
Hit subscribe. We've got some good ones coming up. We've got some good ideas for what we can do here.
Yeah.
And it's always like that. It's just a hang with your mates, the twins.
Did we mention that we're going to do one about? We've mentioned it before, but our weight. We mentioned that.
Yeah. We'll let you know as we do them. But it's never anything too serious. Even if we're talking about serious issues like coronavirus, we're always going to try and find a light-hearted approach. And if you think we're being serious at any point,
You're probably wrong.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Oh, quickly, wait a minute. I often get shit for making fun of things.
Right.
Making fun. So making fun.
You shouldn't make fun of this.
The very thought of the words making fun being a bad thing is just, it's insane to me. Wait a minute, there's a situation that's dark and horrible and probably unavoidable and soul crushing and I made it fun and
You're the
what
bad
an
guy.
asshole I am.
That's the world we live in nowadays. Make fun.
Make fun.
Actually, that should be a rule in life. Make fun.
Yeah, let's make fun of everything.
Make fun.
I
Create
made fun of my worst situations in life, my worst situations. You know what? I'm not going to go on about it, but faced death and I made fun.
Yeah.
And some people were really offended that I made fun at myself. So, that's another story I can
I
tell another
did
time.
manage to thank those people for being offended on your behalf.
Yeah, I made fun of myself when I got sick.
That's the world we
And
live in
they
nowadays.
told me I was a sick person. I made fun of myself. Make fun, guys.
Make fun. Create fun. Anyway, hit subscribe. We love you guys and we'll see you soon.
Love you guys.